way you swing it,
Yep.
the way I'm going to put this to you, it's got disaster written all over it.
We're all told to tee it high and let it fly. But for 1 second, could that be wrong for you? Well, yes is the answer to that question for Scott. He was doing just that, trying to hit up on it massively, tee it high, and all that was happening, he was hitting it shorter and shorter, and just losing
Beautiful
control.
ball.
But with one minor adjustment to tee height and ball position, this made all the difference.
So the consistency, even though it's, to me, something fairly new, the consistency is already starting to improve.
He's now on his way
What a
to
ball.
effortless power.
Beauty. So what was your thought?
Yeah, so my thought process was tee it higher,
Yeah.
very much trying to sort of lean back at address, so that when I'm delivering the club, I'm trying to hit it in the top third
Okay.
of the club face and very much on the upswing.
Okay.
Now I know, unfortunately, I do have a propensity to get the body early,
Yeah.
and that means I'm then coming up or coming into the ball, probably delivering it on a downward angle.
Yeah, and you're teeing it at that height.
Yeah.
So that's making that scenario
So it'll just
way
pop up in the
worse.
air.
Yeah, and we saw one of them
Yes.
there on the course.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to, let me just grab a golf club here.
Yep.
Because I think this is a really interesting concept, because is it safe to say, let me grab, let's just use a wedge, for example. Is it safe to say that you're trying to hit up on it?
Yes.
Like really trying?
Yep, very
Okay,
much
so do you move the ball position forward anyway?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Now whether I'm effective in that is another matter, but
So I would like to stand there for
Yep.
us. And this is why I think, I mean, I'm looking at that tee height and I'm like, the way you swing it,
Yep.
the way I'm going to put this to you, it's got disaster written all over it.
yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine, every time he sees me tee it up, it gives him the fear, as
Yeah.
he calls it.
So have a look at this here, right? So if I rest that on there and I have that here, would it be safe to say that moving the ball forward in my stance anyway is going to help me hit up?
Yeah.
Okay. So you having that idea is almost doing what? Making it even more so.
Sure.
Right? But you know your swing is chopping down on it, so
Yep.
delivering it a little bit
Yep.
like this. So what would be the best compromise for you would be a slightly lower tee height to start with anyway.
Yep.
I'm not saying chop down on it.
No, but-
What I'm trying to say to you here is that's teed far too high. And just look at this, right? So everyone thinks that making the same move with all clubs is wrong. But if I get into my left side with my wedge, which is this club,
Yeah.
look how much shaft lean I have.
Sure.
But look how much shaft lean I have with driver.
Yeah.
Less because of what?
Yeah.
Because the ball is slightly further forward. So for me, I really don't like your setup. I know
Yeah.
that sounds
No,
really blunt,
That's
but
what I want to hear. I want brutal.
let's go for it. You're really wide,
Yep.
and then you've got this idea of getting really behind it. I want to encourage us to get narrower, tee it lower, move the ball slightly back in your stance.
Yep.
And now that's completely different, right? Because you've also got to look at what's really going to help you improve. So your bad shot is a little leak to the right.
Yes.
And you're a little bit over the top.
Yep.
So putting your ball forward in your stance is going to complement that, because you're going to swing further to the left. But is it going to help us improve that? No, because you're always going to have to swing left
Yep.
when the ball is forward. Because look, if it's really far forward, where's my club now swinging?
Yeah.
What direction?
Yeah. It's
If
way
I
left.
move it back in my stance, what direction is it now swinging?
Yeah. It's more
Okay.
on target.
So that's really going to help us. So let's explore, to start with, the ideas of the setup. Now, we had a lesson before, and I'll remind everybody what we said there, because for me, technically, that's all I want you to do.
Sure.
The same as what we said in the iron lesson,
Yep.
but with this driver setup.
Sure.
Right, okay, this is going to be exciting for you, because you're going to stand there going, oh my God, how's this going to work? But like the tour average now, I had a lesson with a guy called Anders, and he was telling me the tour average now on tour is about 1.5 on the down, which actually surprised me a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was about half a degree on the down.
Yep.
Because now what do all these drivers, the marketing is, this is the fastest face, the most forgiving, and the lowest spinning driver that you can
Yep.
get. Why do we need to make it more low spinning, hitting up on it?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe 20, 30 years ago, you'd have to, because of the tech.
Yep.
Now, I don't think that is
Yeah.
anything what you need to do.
Let the club do the work.
Right. Okay, so have a look at this now for reference here. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Scott, that's probably about what you were.
Yeah. Yeah, at least.
And now that's where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, right. That's the first thing I'd like you to do. They're the differences. This is new, this is old. This is old, this is new.
Well, if I show you the 2 tee heights that I carry.
Do you ever use this one?
Yeah.
The anti-slice?
Yeah, I found it. I didn't buy it.
How's the anti-slice tee going?
No. But again, I've got hundreds of these. I'll use the shorter one.
But I think now you're gonna hate
Sure.
me, but go and buy the Tiger. I mean, Tiger now uses this tee. Well, not now uses it. I went on the tour truck, and this is the length of tee he uses. Now he's pretty good.
Yeah.
The reason why moving the ball back, we've just said, so you were here on this part of the arc.
Yeah.
We're proposing to move that back to help you access this with better mechanics that you've got in the backswing. So let's just briefly remind everybody, if you just stand here, Scott, don't make that new setup yet. We'll get into that in a second. So we just spoke about in the backswing, trying to feel that we keep this club face more at the ball for longer, and this feeling of this right arm being more in one line to stop this long collapsing look to that backswing. So that's what I'm saying is what I want you to do. Now I want to move that ball to start with into the middle of your stance.
Yeah.
Narrower with the stance.
Because I've been there.
Yes.
We want to be there.
Now I don't think this is where we're going to end up.
No,
But we've got to go through a bit of a process here, and I want everybody to do this. I want us to go lower and go with this bit of process. And it does take a little bit of tinkering, and it's different for everybody. I swing it different to you, swing it different for me. But right now, what you were doing is just really not helping you out. Okay, right, let's go with this first ball. We're gonna hit a little 5 here. So I want you to have the same swing thoughts we've spoken about. Narrower, narrower, that's it.
Yeah. See, that feels about 5 iron width.
Good. Okay, that's a great reference point.
Yeah.
That's a great reference point for us.
Yeah. See, I felt myself get flat. Almost felt like I was sort of coming in that way.
Yeah, I would say a little bit like that. Yeah. Won't disagree. Okay. Let's move it a tiny bit further forward.
Which there was probably an element of me not trusting it.
Well, definitely. I think that tee's broken, to be fair. It's gone a little bit too much into the ground.
Cool.
So move it a little further forward this time. I don't want you to hit it straight away. I just want to get a bit of a video of this setup, Scott, for us. Wait there, a bit narrower. Bit narrower. That's it, wait there. Okay, just pause. Don't go yet. I am ready whenever you are, sir. Beautiful drive. Beautiful drive. Now that was beautiful hit.
Yeah, that would play.
I just want you to have a look at what does that smash factor just say.
Yeah.
1.5. You can't get any better.
No.
For what you're putting in to what you're getting out.
Yep. I'm not too worried about, fairly low club speed because we've changed something.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go full power first swing.
So here you go. Here's your reference point for where that ball position was. Now, how tidy does that look?
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, right? You feel like this.
Yep.
It's great. So ball position there for reference, and I want it to stay there now with that ball position.
Yep.
It's probably, I'm going to say where fairway wood would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say,
Yeah. I'd say sort of 4 wood, something like that.
Yeah. Now this is your swing. It's a little long on the right hand side here. So we could do the things we spoke about a little better, but they're still pretty new.
And if you missed what we did in the last lesson, it was an iron lesson. And we really worked on having better structure through the takeaway and a squarer club face at the top of the backswing. And essentially, we said to Scott, we could feel a little bit more compact through that backswing. It's something that I'd like to see him do with driver, but right now, let's get back to this tee height and ball position video.
But what I really like is now, you can afford to be a little down on the ball.
Yeah.
And everything's complementing that. And you're like, okay, so what I say to you here is, whenever you're working on your game, you're working on the driver.
Yep.
You're working on the irons.
Yeah.
Right, let's hit another one.
Yeah.
And I think for you, it's almost like, you've seen on the internet that I need to tee it high and let it fly. But it's probably quite liberating now for someone to go, you know what, you don't need to do that. No. So let's hit another few, let's hit 3 more here. Let's really test ourselves. Like we saw 83 club head speed there, 125 ball speed. Let's see if we can get more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, keep reference point. Let's have a look at that tee peg on your club here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably a quarter of a ball above the face.
Yep.
Okay, and then the ball position was like sort of hybrid.
Yeah.
Fairway wood.
Yeah.
Rather than before, just show everybody before where that was in terms of ball position.
I'd have been there.
And then at...
Yeah, absolutely.
that tee height.
At least that.
And
I'm
that's
very
what-
much sort of angling to sort of try and make sure I'm
But you-
almost in the extreme.
But you're already behind it, right?
Yeah,
Because it's up in your stance
absolutely.
more than, let's say, a 7-iron or
Yeah.
more than, let's say, any of those other clubs like an iron. So you don't need to.
No, almost exacerbating it.
Exactly. And then when you hit down on it, if I just take that off you
Yep.
there, well, look why you'd hit those
Yeah.
pop ones.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
and it just wasn't complimenting you. And golf's about finding something that complements you.
Yeah.
Right, let's go again.
Yeah. I mean, that last one, I mean, I know the wind's off the left, but it's a little butter fade. But if it's a butter fade that's going 230, 240 on an easy swing,
But going back to the bigger picture here, you'll start hitting less of those butter
Yeah.
fades and more of the straighter ones, the better we get the backswing.
Absolutely.
This is just something we've got to improve as at
Yeah.
the foundations. Beautiful flight.
I mean, again, I want to get there.
Yeah, I
and
think you're
I know
creeping a
actually
bit-
I need to be
Go-
shoulder width.
Yeah, but also that ball's creeping forward.
Yep.
Keep going back. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
I'm very right eye dominant as well, so that's probably
You know what? I
part
think a
of the reason.
great way for you to check this is if I jump in there,
Yep.
I would almost address that ball outside your right foot.
Yep.
Then all you got to do is
And
just
then
move
just-
that away.
yep,
It's
and just
straight
take the
away. It's
stance.
there all the time.
Yeah, true.
So you've not got that second guessing yourself.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it right? Is it wrong? Is it right? Is it wrong?
Yeah.
Wasn't bad though. 145 smash.
Yeah, I
So we-
spotted the smash was pretty good.
Let's have a look at this here, everybody. So anything above a 1.4 we're happy with. A rate of efficiency. Basically saying if we had 100 miles an hour club head speed, we'd have 145 miles an hour ball speed. 1.5 being the best. So anything over 1.4
Yeah.
we're buzzing with. It's so good. Beautiful ball. So that ball was a little further back than the previous shot.
Yep.
And what did it have less of?
Yeah.
Left to right.
Yeah.
Because you're improving that delivery of that club.
And again, the smash is 145.
And you're not even trying there.
No, I mean it's a very easy trying to work something in, something new to me.
Great. But look at the shots that we're hitting, the quality that we're hitting.
Yeah.
Let's do this again. So now we've actually, I would say, we're around a club head
Yep.
inside, maybe a club head a little bit, way further back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I just think, really just treat this like you had a 7-iron in your hand.
Yeah.
You've made the adjustments with ball position. It's further forward than a 7-iron. But go on, just let the shackles go on this one.
Okay.
Beautiful ball. So what did you just hit?
Yeah, I mean that was a lot straighter. And I just feel like I went at it a little bit more.
Oh, great. And what did you have? A 1.46 again?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that weak fade.
No.
You've not lost it up the right.
No, I mean what are we seeing there in terms of launch?
14.2. I
Yeah.
think for you, you want to be somewhere between 11 and 13.
Yeah.
That'd be really good. Obviously, I'm saying a little bit lower for you because you play
Yeah.
links golf.
Exactly. yeah.
But that there, I like that.
Yeah.
So describe what that last shot felt like. I want to hit one more for me.
It felt, or I felt a lot more in control.
Okay, great.
It felt like the worst shot I could hit there, if I'd aimed at the middle of the fairway, would have still been in fairway.
That's an exciting thought, right?
Rather than really trying to go after it by teeing it up, putting it forward in the stance and thinking, yeah, if I get hold of it, I can get it out at 300.
Yeah.
But the bad one is destructive.
Yeah. But I think, I honestly think you're going to more likely to hit a 300 one with this tee-peg.
Yeah.
So before your idea was, yes, I'm going to give it plenty.
Yeah.
But that's not the most efficient way for you.
No.
You were nowhere near like those numbers on the
No,
course.
absolutely not.
'Cause you won't find the middle.
No.
But where have we found the middle pretty much every
Yep.
time?
Yeah.
And that's really exciting for me because everyone has the idea that you've got to tee it up and that's the only way and the route to hit it a long way.
Yep.
For some people,
Yeah,
it
sure.
is. That is their way. But if we're looking about being playable,
Yep.
being a good enough distance to compete,
Yeah.
and I just think in terms of what for you, this is a longer
Yeah.
than
And I
what you were
think
before.
the more I get comfortable with it, the more I'm likely to then vicariously increase the club head speed.
Definitely.
Because it's going to feel more normal. At
Definitely.
the moment, it feels alien. But I know if we want to make changes, it needs to feel alien.
Yeah, and it's going to be because it's completely the opposite
Yeah.
to what you were doing. Right, one more for me. What a ball. Beauty.
I mean, it just feels a stronger ball flight as well. Yeah, and what's very pleasing looking at those numbers is I don't know how many, what have we hit, 5-6 drivers?
Yeah, you've had nothing below 1.45.
Well, they've all been between 1.45 and 1.50.
Yeah.
So the consistency even though it's, to me, something fairly new, the consistency is already starting to improve.
We've now got something that matches your technique
Yeah.
and matches your swing. And what I'd say to most people are in that camp of being a little bit this way,
Yes.
which you are.
Yeah.
So the worst thing you could possibly do is tee it further forward
Yeah.
and really high, because
Yeah.
all that's going to do, number one, further forward's going to complete this story. So if you're trying to fade it, 100%. And teeing it high is going to make, well, the highest thing you're going to do, the worst thing you're going to do is hit it out the top of the face and you hit it high.
Yeah.
So actually, how do we improve our technique but make ourselves more playable? Move it more back, encourages you to swing here, because you've got to react to the arc,
Yep.
which is exciting.
Yeah.
So anybody that watches that, please, 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 make those changes just like Scott.